Hello Rovers. Forget everything you know about Encore and the voices in your head saying that she's weak. Encore is as strong as Kalchuro. In fact, today I am going to show you guys how well she can perform in endgame content on the hardest difficulty of Hologram. There were only 4 holograms during the beta, and I tested Encore in most of them. She was able to clear both Morning Ikes and Appearance Heron with ease, as these 2 bosses have much lower HP compared to both Fairyland Berengal and Tempest Memphis. I didn't focus too much on Tempest Memphis mainly because this boss requires a lot of parrying, which Encore is not currently great at, which I will explain in detail later. I won't be going over her full kit too much in detail, as this is more of a hologram endgame video showcasing her damage and performance. Her true potential shines if you pair her up with any other character, mainly because you will be swapping her in and out of combat consistently when it's safe to do so. Once her 40 gauge is full, you should use her heavy attack and swap her out. This way, she has iframes during her extremely long animation and does not take any damage. When you press E, which is her resonance skill, you can press E or left click after to trigger a second burst. To make use of the long animation, you can just swap out after pressing E. During Encore's ultimate, all of her skills change, including her Forte skill and Resonance skill. The rotation that seems to pump out the most damage is opening with the Resonance skill, a full string left click combo, and then Resonance skill, and finally finishing off with a Forte attack, which is holding your left click. You can also swap her in and out during her ultimate, but remember, the timer of her ultimate still ticks down and does not freeze when you swap her out. Her outro skill, which requires Concerto energy, is extremely good as it leaves a puddle of flames when you swap her out of combat, dealing massive damage every 1.5 seconds based on her attack, which lasts for 6 seconds. As for her intro skill, nothing too special about it other than breaking a good amount of stagger bar on the bosses, which is good because once the enemy is knocked down, this is the moment where her ultimate shines. While Encore is an exceptional DPS character, the one thing she lacks is that she couldn't parry during her first normal attack, which makes parrying a bit challenging because you have to do it with a plunge attack. To do so, you have to jump and press left click, making the timing of each parry harder to grasp. However, do note that she can parry during her ultimate, which is nice. I do hope that they change this on the official release because all of the other Rectifier users can parry with their first left click, except her. During all of the previous betas, a lot of people, including me, slept on Encore because everyone had limited resources. Other than my friend Doru, who used Encore to blow up stuff like this, but she's been nerfed since. Even after all the nerfs, her playstyle is quite enjoyable, until my hands start hurting from carpal tunnel with all the fast switching going on. While having a mixed set is nice, it's more important to complete a molten set bonus, even if you have to resort to using 1 or 2 purple echoes like me. As for her weapon, I would recommend aiming for Yinlin's Rectifier, which is her exclusive weapon, as it gives crit rate main stat and is very useful for endgame content. I found myself a bit pressed for time when I was using the 5-star Rectifier from the standard banner, which gives attack percent main stat. If you're looking for another alternative weapon that gives a good amount of crit rate, the only other option right now is the Battle Pass Rectifier. Encore feels as strong as Kalchuro, both needing a secondary character to make use of their ultimate to the fullest. The only thing holding Encore back is once again, her not being able to parry with left click, which is strange because she was able to do so in both the technical test and the first closed beta. Encore synergizes best with Verina and whoever for the third slot. It doesn't matter who. There can be all kinds of combos. You can do Yinlin for her mark and debuffs. You can do Rover with zigzag for twice or triple the amount of slow motion when the boss is down or during certain actions. 5G can be good, but I feel like her QTE recharge is way too slow and you're not able to swap her in and out as fast as you would with Verina and Encore. Verina seems the best because she is like an energizer battery that keeps Encore skills going and charging like crazy. You don't always need to have a Verina in the party. For example, as you can see in this hologram 6 Heron clear, Jansen works exceptionally well not for her shielding skills, but for the overall utility she has to offer with iframes, stagger, and so much more. I do have a Jansen guide for those interested in learning more about her. I'll look into posting some Endgame Hologram 6 content using her, if anyone wants to see how she fares later on and all that stuff. But let's get back to encoring. As for my final thoughts, I would not mind leveling up Encore. She'll do well for both endgame tower and hologram content. However, if you're completely free to play, best to get Verina first and stick to Rover and perhaps Danjin. If she doesn't get nerfed, Danjin can solo all of Hologram Div 6 easily, except the same element once. This does bring up a question: when new holograms come out, there will be 3 Electro bosses, in which 2 are Memphises and the third one will be Abomination. While there is only one potential fusion hologram in the future, which is the Inferno Rider. A small reminder, there is a huge damage penalty if you use a character of the same element as the boss. And that should be it for today's Encore Hologram Div 6 showcase video. I appreciate you all watching until the end, and if you found this video helpful or entertaining, make sure to share with your friends, like the content, and subscribe. This is your brother, Steparu, out.